Hello and welcome to this Profit Protector Pro video. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to answer a commonly asked question as to why you even need to set a max price in the first place. Now, if you are brand new to the world of repricing, then you have probably wondered this at one point or another. And even if you've been repricing for a time, but then actually thought, hold on a minute, why do I need to set a max? Well, that's what I'm going to answer in this video. So a max price is super important. It's just as important as a minimum price or as the strategy that you set. So as we know, the minimum and maximum price defines the parameters that Profit Protector Pro is going to work between in order to strategically win you the buy box and bump the price up. But you might be thinking, well, why do I need to set a parameter in the first place? Like the minimum is understandable, but the maximum, why would I want to limit profit potential on a listing? Well, in actual fact, you are not limiting profit potential on a listing. You're actually saving that profit potential. So let me explain. Okay, it would be amazing if we could set a max price that was uncapped. It was just infinite. And we can make that much. To be fair, if we were able to secure a sale at max price and it was infinite, like we could just close up shop and never sell again. As awesome as that would be, unfortunately, it's not the way that it works. So with Amazon, if the price moves up too high, like if you take the buy box and just move up super high, Amazon will come down on you. They will send you pricing warnings. They may suppress the buy box, which is where they just remove it from the listing. So where there's add to basket and buy now, where there's those options, that is gone. So then you have to rely on people coming to the listing, finding obviously the section whereby they can choose what seller they want to sell from, and you are relying on them specifically choosing your individual entry on that listing to buy from you. So, like not having the buy box there does reduce the chances of making sales, because obviously the buy box there is a great way of securing even more sales, which is why it's a great thing to sell on Amazon. So if you set the max price too high, there's a bunch of consequences that come with it if it was to move up that high, and it's like bang out of proportion with everyone else on the listing, which is just part of selling on Amazon. So it's part of Amazon keeping everything fair as well. If you were to, if everyone on the listing was, selling around the £30 to £50 sort of like range, and then you come on and then you bump the price up all the way to like 170 and you start making sales there, basically Amazon deem that as not fair on everyone else. Of course, this is where Profit Protector Pro is useful, because it will bump the price. It won't just jump straight to max, unless of course that situation is definitely a thing that can happen and it's safe to do so. It will try several different size bumps, bumping that price up, and of course how exactly it does that, the size of that bump, depends on the strategy that you're using. So it just determines how it's going to move up to achieve as much profit as it possibly can. But doing it this way means that it encourages everyone else on the listing to move up with you in those small jumps as well. So it's a great way of defeating price tanking. It's kind of like doing the opposite. Instead of someone going lower and lower, it's getting like a bit higher, and it encourages everyone to move up with you. So it does raise the overall pricing range on a listing and makes things a whole lot healthier. So when that happens, what you can do is review your max prices. So you can easily do that by going onto the filters and just ticking at max and viewing everything that is at max. And then what you can do is review the price range on the listing. And if you assess that and think, you know what, I could actually afford to move my max price up a bit more, then by all means go ahead and do that. Obviously, if you set it too high, as I say, that's where you're going to get these warnings. It runs the risk of a suppressed buy box and things like that, and obviously we don't want that. So when you assess the price range on a listing and it comes to setting your max, if you're not sure what exactly to set, and you're doing the auto min max rule, so if you come into your account settings, you're here in the calculation settings and you're wondering what exactly to set, Ultimately, the choice is yours, but you might want it to be a certain amount above your break even, a certain amount above the buy box, a certain amount above a certain amount of ROI. It's completely up to you. But what you don't want to do is set this way too high, so that way it calculates a max that is way too high. So a good rule of thumb, and obviously just ignore this. A good rule of thumb is to go anywhere from sort of like 50 to 150% over the buy box. And of course, you can translate that over to break even and ROI. Obviously, if you're doing break even and ROI, just make sure that you are aware of where the buy box is, because what you want to do with this is set something that is like a one size fits all. And of course, it's going to vary per listing. So you just need to assess what might be sensible to set across all of your listings and do it that way. Of course, you can go back and adjust things individually, but you want something whereby you found a happy medium for all of your listings. So having something like that, somewhere between 50 and 150, maybe go for the middle, 100%, and you should find that you are fine on all, if not the majority of your listings. And of course, just review them, keep an eye on things, and if you do get any warnings, just action them straight away. But if you're sending it this way, anywhere between 50 and 150% based on what you deem is best is a great idea. And obviously, it's just a case of reviewing the listings on Amazon, getting a feel for that price range, and you set your max somewhere towards the higher end of that pricing range. And obviously, you want a bunch of other people to be around that kind of pricing as well. So what you don't want to do is only have like one person that's like, let's say the pricing range is from like 30 to 50, and then you've got like one person on the listing that's all the way up there at like 100. Chances are they're probably going to get warnings. So you don't want to join them in that. You just want to see where a bunch of other people are at on the higher end of that price range, and then set your max price there. Apologies if my voice has sounded weird for any part of this video. I'm currently a little bit ill. So yeah, it's making my voice a little bit weird at times. So yeah, apologies if that's been the case in this video. But hopefully we'll work it off soon. But hopefully that's answered the question as to why you even need to set a max price and why it's important. It is a very, very important parameter to have set, just as important as your minimum. And of course, you won't be limited on the profit potential. As I say, as stuff moves up and it encourages everyone else to move up as well, you'll be able to afford to move your max price even higher when you come back and review everything. So hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.